So today we're speaking to Greg Melick, who is the founder of Pressing Matters Winery and Vineyard in the Coal River Valley, Tasmania. And Pressing Matters is one of the Real Review's top wineries of Australia for 2022. Congratulations on that, Greg, and welcome to the Real Review.
Thanks very much, Huon.
When you established Pressing Matters, you chose just two varieties, Pinot Noir and Riesling. I assume that reflects your own personal taste.
Yes, look, I've always been a great fan of the wines of Burgundy, and particularly the red wines of Burgundy, and German Riesling, especially the Mosel styles. I've always found them very elegant, nice length, and I found them a refreshing wine which showed true terroir.
And now I believe you're expanding Pressing Matters. You've taken on a partner, and you've got a new vineyard that you've purchased. Would you like to fill us in on the update at Pressing Matters?
Well, the reason I bought the site in the first place was because the Morningside Vineyard, which was the first vineyard set up in the Coal River Valley, it's got unique terroir, which is on limestone. In fact, when we built the new winery, the civil engineers were amazed when they cut down a foot into the ground, everything there under was white. And so because I like the Morningside wines and I like the terroir, when the grazing property next door came up for sale, we bought it and established Pressing Matters. And then when Peter and Brenda decided to sell Morningside, our very good friends in Melbourne, Anthony and Kay Hall, decided that they would buy the Morningside vineyard, and we've now combined the two, hopefully getting economies of scale. But when we bought Morningside, we also, a very small vineyard, it was under 2 hectares, but it had Cabernet, Cab Franc, Petit Verdot, 40-year-old Pinot vines, 30-year-old Chardonnay vines, and 40-year-old Riesling vines. So we've got a bit of a fruit salad there, but lots of potential.
You've certainly branched out in a big way. And I believe you've got a new winery which is about to be built. At what stage are you at with that?
Oh, no, it was finished just in time for vintage. And Sam Connew, our winemaker, was delighted. So she makes her Stargazer wines there, and we make Pressing Matters there. It's a fabulous winery. We're very happy with it. And it has a capacity for up to 200 tonnes, which we're not anywhere near at the moment, although we processed nearly 100 tonnes this year. And we've also planted out 4 hectares of Chardonnay, which will come online in 2024. So we've moved a fair way from just the Riesling and the Pinot Noir.
So with the expansion of Pressing Matters and new vineyards going in and the Morningside vineyard, you'll be producing more wine in the future, I'd imagine. Are you going to be looking to market it further? I mean, we don't often see it over here. It's quite rare in, say, Sydney, but I'd imagine you'll be cranking up the marketing arm a little bit.
Yes, well, we're going to have to do more marketing because we've actually got a reasonable bit of Pinot in our warehouse at the moment. My policy always was to keep Pinot back for 3 years before release, because I think a lot of Australian Pinot gets drunk too young. And as you know, Huon, our Pinots have got structure, and they just need a little bit of time to develop and soften those tannins and structures a bit. But because of COVID, our current release is 2018, which means we've got a little bit more stock than I'd like in the warehouse. So we're quite happy to step up the marketing. And we're fortunate our last 3 vintages have all won gold medals and/or trophies, and we hope that'll keep going.
Well, as you alluded to, the Pressing Matters style of Pinot is a more structured wine than perhaps a lot of wines in Tassie and in certain parts of southern Victoria, which are quite delicate. Is this, I know you like that style yourself, is this what the vineyard naturally produces, or do you deliberately try to make it that way?
No, it's what we produce. I mean, it's structured with elegance, and I think a lot of people mistakenly think Pinot's a light wine. When you look at some of the monumental Burgundies, they go forever. Now, we're very fortunate because of the clonal selection and the vineyard site. That's the way the wine's produced. We're very careful with our oak. We put no more than 20% new oak. But we do get some decent tannins, some nice tannins from the oak, particularly stocking of barrels. We're very keen on the Austrian, very tight-grained, 3 years plus aged oak. But as a general rule, it's hard to pick the oak influence our wine because, as I said, we don't go any more than 20% new oak.
So I did have a question for you regarding fashion and marketing and so on. You're not terribly fashion driven, obviously. You don't have Sauvignon Blanc, and you produce the sort of wines that you like yourself. Do you think that the great wine is always the product of the creative urges of an individual and doesn't respond too much to the whims of the market?
I like to think that. Of course, if we really wanted to be more commercially successful, we'd plant Pinot Gris and Sauvignon Blanc. I'm just not. They're not varieties that I want to drink. I'm fortunate I've got plenty of other varieties in the cellar, mainly of course Riesling, Chardonnay, and Pinot Noir. But hopefully the market will realise that we haven't won over 115 gold medals and trophies for no reason. They'll try the wines and understand what they're really like.
Yeah. Well, perhaps you'd like to just sketch out what the Pressing Matters approach to Riesling is, because you have an interesting system of grading your Rieslings according to the sweetness level. Would you care to elaborate?
Well, we have 4 Rieslings. They go from very dry, which we call R0, which is 0, it's about half a gram residual sugar, to 139 grams, which is a beer and Auslese style wine. The R9 is just off dry. Most people will pick up residual sugar at 4 to 6 grams, so it's 9 grams. And the 69's right smack bang in the middle of the German Spätlese range. And we find when people come and do a tasting, they're amazed that grapes that come from exactly the same vineyard, and we're a very small vineyard, we've only got 3 hectares of Riesling, can taste so different merely because of the differences in sugar levels. And bearing in mind that most German cabinets are somewhere between 12 and 40 grams residual sugar, they're nowhere near as sweet as their German equivalents, except when we get to the 69. And that to me allows because we have this lovely acid, usually about 8 grams total acidity, you need a little bit of that palate weight and sugar to balance that acidity, and it works quite well.
Well, I take my hat off to you, Greg. You're doing some great stuff there, and congratulations again on being in the Top Wineries Australia 2022. Well, and thank you for your time today, and we look forward to having you or your representatives at some of our events as we go forward with the Top Wineries campaign.
Well, we'll see you on I think the 7th of August we're coming up anyway, Huon, in Sydney.
That's terrific. Excellent. Thanks, Greg. All the best.
Thanks, Huon.